Aloha, y'all. It is Monday, Moon Day, named after the moon, etymologically and esoterically ruled by the moon. It is the 14th of July. The sun is in Cancer, the moon is in Pisces. I'll reference the astrology as we go. But the cards I've pulled for the day are the Hierophant card, Major Arcana, the Page of Cups, as a clarifier, and the wild card comes from the Galactic Heritage deck, the Zeta Reticuli, the Grays, Enlightenment. So let's get into what all this means. Hopefully you all are doing well. The Hierophant is Major Arcana. I've written music to all the Major Arcana. I'll post that in the comments. Check it out. The song is called On Loan from God. It's kind of classic rocky vibes and tongue-in-cheek humor stuffs. If you read the lyrics, you'll get what I'm talking about. So, the Hierophant, the High Priestess. This is the male conduit of spiritual awareness, right? Caretaker of spiritual knowledge, teaching others what you know, awakening to a greater understanding of the world by paying attention to those details. Mars and Virgo, Venus and Gemini, paying attention to the facts on the ground, the details. But as a spiritual conduit, Moon in Pisces, North Node in Pisces, Sun and Jupiter in Cancer. On page 32, the Hierophant, I am the teacher of universal law. The Hierophant is the guardian and custodian of religious knowledge and spiritual beliefs. A religious figure or guru, which is what teacher means, guru, preserving and passing knowledge on intact. The masterful conduit of spiritual energy, he is admired and acknowledged as the teacher of God's law, the keeper of spiritual wisdom passed down through millennia. He alone has access to this knowledge, and as the spiritual authority is master of ceremonies, choosing wisely who is initiated into the ways of spirit and spiritual governance. I have depicted the Hierophant as part man, part wolf, probably the most misunderstood of all wild animals. Wolves are seen as merely killing machines that hunt in packs, a scourge to be rid of. So much so that now most species are considered endangered. Wolves, in fact, are extremely gregarious. They mate for life, have strong family bonds, Sun in Cancer, Jupiter in Cancer, a clear clan structure, Mars in Virgo, and deflect conflict where possible, Venus in Gemini. Though their clans are highly organized, they are truly free spirits. Moon in Pisces, North Node in Pisces. A symbol of the night seen howling at the moon, they represent the lonely path of journeying within to learn and discover our inner power and strength. You've got to go in to get out, right? As within, so without. The wolf nature also expresses the idiom of biblical origin used to describe the deceptiveness of appearances, a kind of nature masking danger. The wolf in sheep's clothing. After all, religion has been a double-edged sword, a source for conflict and a resource for peace. Religion has been at the heart of most violent conflicts, especially in the past few decades, and is worn as a badge of identity, fueling or abating conflict for political ends. We're starting to reassess how apropos it is to kill our enemies, even though the good book says don't kill and love your enemies, right? With Saturn retrograding, conjunct Neptune retrograde, both conjunct in Aries, we're like, wait a second. What am I supposed to do with the facts that I get from God? And are my facts lining up with the culture and what I've inherited, etc.? The Hierophant, the channeler of male spiritual energy, can indeed bear his teeth. The flower of life. A flower-like pattern with six-fold symmetry like a hexagon floats above his head. A universal sacred geometry depicting the creation of existence, containing all the essential building blocks of the universe that we call the Platonic solids, and that is found all over the world. In most religions and various ancient civilizations, it can be seen in temples within the Forbidden City of China, in ancient synagogues in Israel, in the Buddhist temples of India and Japan, while the oldest known example is believed to be those present in the Temple of Osiris in Abydos, Egypt. Temples that have borne witness to the visceral rituals and ceremonies of sacred sound and sight, scented aromas, touch, and taste have been used to reinforce the stories, doctrines, and values of religion. To serve God, one is actively encouraged to live and pray either in an enclosed spiritual community or live in the secular world while choosing to pray or meditate and meet regularly in the house of God, establishing a strong social structure and the idea of belonging and contributing to a bigger group or tribe, like in the world but not of it vibes. The Hierophant calls you to investigate the existing sets of beliefs and systems that are already in place within your environment and see if they hold anything of value for you, right? Are they still holding water? Just because you inherited it doesn't mean it's true forever for you. Saturn retrograde, Neptune retrograde conjunct in Aries. Uranus trining Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. Gemini, Venus trining Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. We're seeing how we feel, Sun in Cancer, Jupiter in Cancer, about spirituality, Moon in Pisces, North Node in Pisces, and then assessing the facts and basically upgrading the database, Mars and Virgo. Right? We're cleaning up our acts and figuring out what our truth is. So the clarifying card is the Page of Cups. And if you're a water sign, you're a cup. It's the feels, right? So Cancers, Scorpios, and Pisces. And the page is the airy, the light, the playful, curious, immature at worst, part of water, the feels, the emotions, the intuitions, the dreams. Sensitive and on page 76, the Page of Cups, I offer you artistic beauty, sensitive and creative, open to psychic transmissions, unique perspective, dreamer. With the moon in Pisces, North Node in Pisces, we're open to the vibes, and we're getting downloads from on high, and they're going to look different for everybody. And then you have to listen to the music and understand what your song is and eat from the grapes of the truth of your wisdom. And really make wine out of it, refine it. So the final card we've got today is coming from the Galactic Heritage deck, which is aliens, it's moon, right? It's enlightenment. So let me get this little booklet out, Galactic Heritage book, Moon Day, right? Aliens, figure that syncs for the wild cards. And it is as follows. Zetas are grays, gray aliens. So on page 136, number 97, Zeta Reticuli, Enlightenment, Future Timeline. The Zetas had a tangible experience of moving from fear to awakening, but it was not an easy one. Through this crisis, they had to first learn to embrace emotion as a valid part of existence, and then, at the same time, not attach emotion, but rise above it. Encountering this paradox was essential to their transformation as a species. Uranus and Gemini, Venus and Gemini, both trining Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. Paradox is going to teach us how to ratify our truths and play in the band and our own instruments, our solos, more effectively and more aware of what's going on. The same lesson is being asked of you now. Embrace and honor all aspects of who you are, even those you don't like. Don't make an enemy of your shadow. Embrace it. Work through it. Transmute through it. And then externally, don't just kill your enemies. Learn to love them and embrace them for what they are. Various alternate aspects of the one. At the same time, know that mind, emotions, and body are not who you are. Expand your consciousness beyond them. This is enlightenment. It's like Fight Club. You are not your car. You're not the clothes you wear. You're not the job you have. You are not your body, ultimately. It's an aperture of understanding. You are not your mind. It's an aperture. You are not your emotions. It's an aperture, right? That's enlightenment. This card refers to the Zeta era in which their fears and desperation were behind them, and they successfully reconnected to their galactic family, Sun in Cancer, Moon in Pisces. In addition to those milestones, they finally integrated their mental, emotional, and energetic bodies and used the lessons of those separate parts to show that the separation is an illusion and that the true state of being is as a unified consciousness that spans all of creation. That flower of life. It encompasses all of it. The one and the all in the one. Thus, their species attained enlightenment. If this card is coming up in your reading, it could be many things. Perhaps you have a strong connection with the Zetas of this era and they are assisting you in a spiritual growth in a subtle or obvious way. Perhaps this card is meant to encourage you to continue your integration process even in the midst of pain, because pain is a sign of transformation and can be a powerful catalyst when used for personal growth. The card also may be reminding you that enlightenment is the natural state of being and that your life as a separate self is merely an illusion. North Node in Pisces, right? It's just a dream. Row, row, row your boat. The underlying message is that the human experience of separation is but one part of who you are, and by embracing all aspects, as the Zetas eventually did, without attaching to any one particular aspect too much, you individually and humanity collectively can move to an enlightened state of consciousness. So you don't want to just be Kirk, you don't want to just be Spock, you're not just heart, you're not just mind, you're not just your body, you're pushing through all of it. That is the download. That is the true. What do we do with that fact? How do we embody that? How do we sing the awareness of that through an inspirational lens? What does enlightenment mean? The one and the all in the one. Now, how do we apprehend that? That's going to be different for everybody. So do holler for a reading. I can help with that. So if you've enjoyed this, leave a tip. Obviously, comment. I love people interacting. Holler for a reading. 3 hours of astrology is $150. An hour of cards is $50. If it's your birthday, it's half off either or both of those. And if you get somebody to come to me as a referral, you get half off on cards yourself. So I can help you understand your spiritual design through your chart or the cards or whatever. Help you how I can. Check out the Team Rabbit Hole podcast. The most recent episode will be in the comments. And check out the song I wrote for the Hierophant card, also in the comments. So on that note, enjoy your moon day, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Adios.